everybody, welcome back. Yesterday I gave you a countdown of my current top 5 favorites. Today I'm continuing with a few others that I really felt deserved a mention but just didn't quite make the top 5. First one is the Puresmoker USB Passthrough. This is a companion piece to the Prodigy, and like the Prodigy, it's definitely built for durability. This is some heavy-duty construction and materials. Look how thick that cord is. Like the Prodigy, it is a manual button and has a variety of adapters for different atomizers. The 401, the 510, the 801, and the 901. This is a 901. As you can see, the performance is excellent. It again gets that 5 volts for the extra edge. The downside, though, is frankly this heavy, monstrous cord. Whether if I plug it into the USB hub on my desk, then I've got this big-ass cord coiled up or snaking around. If I plug it into the USB hub beneath my desk, the weight of the cord pulls it right off. And since I'm also have a bunch of other pass-throughs, if it gets tangled in them, it pulls the whole kit and caboodle off the desk. But still, thinking long-term, thinking of how often regular pass-throughs have to be replaced because the cord fails, I get it. Durability, good. I get it. But that is the disadvantage of this. This cord is a heavy, unwieldy mess to deal with. Other than that, it really does. It performs superbly. And I'm sure, I've only had it for a couple of months, but I'm sure this will be with me for a good long time. Moving on. My number 2 runner-up is the E8, the little cousin or little brother of the E9. Like the E9, it is a 2-piece disposable cartomizer model. The cartomizers are exactly identical to the E9s, just scaled down slightly. It's only 8 millimeters diameter, about 84 millimeters length, which puts it in the super-duper-mini category. I found one traditional design super mini which was all right, pretty good for its size. This is the only super duper mini that I would say is excellent. I mean, it is an excellent cigarette for any size. Bye-bye, Mike. As you can see, the vapor levels are very nearly comparable to the E9. Not quite. I would put this I'd give it 1 bonus point on my 1 to 5 scale for a total of 6. The E9 gets 2 bonus points for a total of 7. So the vapor is a little bit less than the E9, but it's still very impressive. The cartridges do not last as long as the E9 cartridges. They last about a third as long, so 7 or 8 cigarettes worth. The batteries are the main reason why it's not in regular use for me anymore. The batteries simply don't last long enough. They're just too small. They last about I did a review just a couple months back on it. That'll have the exact details of the battery duration, but offhand it's fairly limited. It was certainly below 30, I believe. So the battery length makes it impractical for regular use. However, a pass-through for at home makes it quite useful. However, again, if you're trying to decide between the E8 and the E9, I'd say get the bigger one. It really is the better of the two. But still, overall, the E9, if size is what you're looking for, the small, tiny, petite size, then the E8 is definitely the best option in that size range. Okay, now moving along, the next three I can't, in all honesty, call my favorites, but these are definitely honorable mentions. The first two are old familiar friends that I've mentioned in my previous videos, the DSE 901 and the DSE 801, the Mini and the pen style. The 901 is still my top recommendation for a beginning e-cigarette user. It teaches you all the basics of e-cigarette use, recharging the batteries, maintaining the atomizer, refilling the cartridges, and from here, and it is a good performer, it's reliable, it's durable, and relatively inexpensive. From here, you should see what you want in your regular e-cigarette, whether you want longer lasting cartridges, whether longer lasting batteries are more important to you, more vapor, smaller form factor, larger form factor. You know, you can decide what you will be able to deal with, what you will want to use in regular use after you've had the basic experience of the 901. That's my recommendation. The 801, classic pen style, always good, always a mainstay of my e-cigarette use. The main reason I don't use the 801 very much anymore is simply because of the battery body mods like the Janty stick or the Prodigy. So I'm still using the atomizers, but I just very seldom use the pen style batteries anymore. This particular battery is a manual switch. These are purchased separately. I got these from Vapor Country. Not having much luck with it today. I think I should have recharged the battery, but instead of just grabbing it out of my bin. But in any case, the 801 is always a good classic e-cigarette. It has longer cartridge life and battery life than the 901, so it's a good step up if you've used the 901 and you want longer duration. And my final honorable mention is the screwdriver. Trog's screwdriver was the first of the battery body models, and so I couldn't very well pick the Prodigy and Janty stick without giving credit where credit is due to Trog and the screwdriver, the little design that started it all. I mean, as far as these battery bodies go. It began with an idea that had been batted around on the forum. Trog wanted something like the pipe, but with not only interchangeable batteries, but interchangeable, replaceable atomizers. He came up. That's what he wanted. He came up with a way to make it, and he came up with a way to make it commercially available to others. And props to him for that. Major load of kudos, dude. You know, as I mentioned before, one of the hard things in making these compilation kind of videos is making sure that you have a perfectly working example of each type. And I have to admit, I've worn these batteries down. So it's time to replace them. This is not the peak performance for a screwdriver. In any case, the main reason that this is not one of my favorites is just because of the limitations of the 901 atomizer and the 901 cartridge. That otherwise, compared to the other battery body modifications available, this has actually got the sleekest design. I like the button placement, although it's a little awkward to use. It doesn't get in the way when it's coming in and out of the pocket. Overall, this is one of my favorites, if it just weren't for the 901. So, those are my runner-ups and honorable mentions. Once again, as always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's useful.